Welcome to another edition of Highliner News. I'm Courtney.
And I'm Reagan. Gym class is always a favorite for most elementary kids.
Reporter Kenzie Peterson brings us the story.
Teaching elementary students a new game isn't always easy when you're the only teacher, but Mr. Suffolk has it all figured out.
They're not always easy to learn. Sometimes it takes a few days to train them a little bit, get them to learn the games, but just staying active myself with them and playing with them, showing some enthusiasm with it, so they enjoy that.
Most kids don't play the games they do in gym after grade school, but Mr. Suffolk is teaching these students games he loved when he was a kid.
I kind of go back and think about how I would want to do some physical activity, playing some games, and so I just go back to my good old days and choose those activities.
Reporting from Jefferson Elementary, this is Kenzie Peterson.
In the month of April, during this annual 30-day period, Stress Awareness Month allows public understanding to both the causes and cures for our modern stress epidemic.
Brianna Kunze brings us positive ways you can respond to stress in your life.
Make up your mind and get or stay healthy. Taking control of your personal health can make a great difference in the amount of stress you feel. The best way to reclaim control of your life is by taking charge of your body, whether it is through exercise, dieting, or simply getting that checkup you've been putting off. Let April be the month you put yourself back in control. Focus on now. Most people live their entire lives in yesterday or tomorrow. In truth, however, there is only now. Focusing on the present provides an escape from the disappointment of what was once the fear of what might be. Have a laugh once in a while. It's true. Laughter is the best medicine. Watch a funny show or a video. Tell a joke. Whatever it takes, give yourself time for laughter each and every day. Reporting for Highlander News, I'm Brianna Kunze.
Reading is an important part of our everyday life.
Reporter Reagan Inkstead turns the page on the story.
Do you ever wonder why we are required to read certain books in English class? There is a lot of thought and time put into deciding which books to read. These are a few books that have been chosen.
With 1984, this is a novel that is read nationwide and actually worldwide as well. In our society, most people have read 1984, and it is a political novel that focuses on what happens to a world when we give up our personal freedoms. Then our other book is Ordinary People, and this book was written in the 1970s. Some would say it's a little dated, but it talks about the mental health issues, and we, of course, in our society today are struggling with mental health issues as well. People ask me, why do we read these books? We read these books because typically students may not pick these up on their own, and so the books we read in school are books that we think are valuable and that will give you more information and will make you think about the world in a different way.
In 8th grade, we just added a title, The Outsiders, that I'm really excited about. We go for high interest books that you can look at plot and characters and all of the elements of an author's craft. And by junior year, then we're less looking at the author's craft and we're more moving chronologically through literature. So we walk our way through the different time periods and we look at the pieces that people over time have loved and that they talk about.
Reporting for Highliner News, I'm Reagan Inkstead.
After many years of success, Valley City girls' tennis team is ready to take on another season.
Abby Slider serves up the story.
Despite the weather imposing on the beginning of their season, the girls' tennis team at VCHS is ready for another spring.
This year we have the most we've had in my tenure of 12 years. We have 42 girls out for tennis.
It's weird thinking that it's my last time I'm gonna play.
Senior athlete Hannah Aberly shares her hopes for her last season.
I'm looking forward to the new challenges of each team and hopefully making it to state again.
Coach Matt Nielsen challenges his athletes in ways that encourage them to put aside wins and losses and focus instead on three main pillars of the game.
The three pillars we have is positive attitude, sportsmanship, and 100% effort. We control the things we can control, which is our attitudes, our effort, our sportsmanship, and we're going to do everything we can do in practice and matches to win the next point.
Compared to other sports at VCHS, tennis holds something special for its athletes.
I think we're different just because we've gotten really close, and it's not like where we have the stress of winning or losing as long as we do our personal best.
We're all very close and we've grown up together, so like we just play well.
It's become more of like a tennis family where you compete hard on the court, but you can still talk to people on the outside.
Reporting for Highliner News, this is Abby Slider.
They run the school. Test your knowledge on them.
It's time for an episode of Better Know Your Administrators. First up, we have Mr. Larson. Was he A, a snake milker, B, a construction worker, C, a professional sleeper, or D, all of the above? Take 5. If you said B, you nailed it. Next, we have Mrs. Brandt. Was she A, a fabric librarian, B, a professor, C, an exotic species monitor, or D, none of these? Take 5. If you said C, you're correct. Last but not least, we have the head honcho, Mr. Johnson. Was he A, a noxious weed sprayer, B, a cook, C, a professional painter, or D, all of the above? Take 5. If you said D, you're definitely right. I'm your host, Hannah Sorensen, and that was an episode of Better Know Your Administrators.
TSA and DECA students are whipping up canvases after school.
Hunter Burchell has the story.
Tech Ed teacher Mrs. Beatty elaborates on what DECA and TSA students are doing after school.
DECA and TSA are working collaboratively to come up with a project. We are making canvases, and DECA is going to be selling them on an Etsy page that they create. And the Tech Ed students that are part of TSA will be creating the canvases. Some of the DECA students have been helping with the production of that as well. TSA stands for Technology Student Association, and it's the Career in Tech organization that goes with Tech Ed. So it's new to Valley City this year, but hopefully it'll grow from here.
DECA member Kennedy Jorson explains what her job is in the process.
The name of our store is Venture Canvases, and we decided to go with that name because it incorporates the V and the C for Valley City in with the name, and we can do a lot of things with that and the name of the store itself. To make the canvases, we start by planning them on the computer and write down the designs of them and then print them off. When we get done printing them off, we measure them to see what size they are.
Reporting for Highliner News, I'm Hunter Burchell.
VCSU has been here for over 120 years. Its age is one thing, the degrees they offer is another.
Devin Anderson has the story.
What classes does VCSU have to offer?
We've been known for 125 years as a teacher's college. That is our #1 program, is teacher education. But we have really expanded over the last probably 5 to 10 years. Fisheries and wildlife is actually our second leading program right now with our incoming students. Business administration. As we were talking earlier, a lot of freshmen will come to us undecided, not knowing what to do, and that's fine because you're looking at a path of a 4-year degree. Health science is another great program for those students that want to go into the professional fields. I want to be a dentist, a chiropractor. You do a 4-year program. So we've got a brand new building with the city in regards to the Gockler Wellness Center and our kinesiology and health education departments out there, which is a great facility. So athletic training is a very popular degree. Exercise science for those kids that really like the sports aspect and may not want to teach like in physical education. We've got a lot of different programs and again, we're here to help our students guide and get into the right program that they may be interested in.
What are the strengths and why should I attend VCSU?
The strengths of VCSU would be the small campus classroom size, the personal attention that you're going to get from the university. We are an institution of about 1,500 students, and that means your class sizes are quite small. You might have a lecture class of 20, 30 kids, but otherwise it's very personal between you and the professors. Another benefit is the cost. Yeah, we're very reasonable in regards to receiving a 4-year degree. We also have over 90% of our freshmen coming in will receive an academic scholarship of some sort. There's a lot of little things. Again, we really like to get to know the student so that we can help guide them through the whole process of starting it with admissions all the way through when you graduate and get that first job.
Reporting for Highlander News, I'm Devin Anderson.
We see her every day, but how much do we really know about our principal, Mrs. Brandt?
Reporter Riley Miller has the story.
Most of us know Mrs. Brandt is just our principal, but there's a lot we don't know about her.
I grew up in a small little town in the northwest corner of Iowa, a little town called George.
During high school, Brandt loved to be involved in after-school activities.
Volleyball in the fall, girls basketball in the winter, and then in the spring is track season, and then in the summer is our softball league.
After high school, Brandt pursued a college education.
My undergraduate, I went to Southwest Minnesota State University, that's in Marshall, Minnesota, and I went there for 4 years and got a master's, my first master's from Southwest State University in Marshall. And then I worked for another couple years, and then I went back for my second master's degree out of St. Mary's University out of the Twin Cities. So I have a double master's and my bachelor's.
Mrs. Brandt explains why she chose her profession.
I really maximized my my opportunities in high school, and it just seemed to be something that I just loved being around.
She has hobbies just like the rest of us.
I am a Pinterest freak. I love Pinterest, and so I like to scroll, see different ideas, and then I like to craft out those ideas. So, you know, I just got done creating a 3-tier baseball cupcake stand for my nephew. He's going to be graduating this year, and so, you know, just fun creative things like that. I love interior decorating. You know, if there's projects that we're doing in our house, I love to decorate specific rooms and things for those projects. You know, that's just kind of my free time.
Reporting for Highlander News, I'm Riley Miller.
Thank you for joining us from Valley City High School for another edition of Highlander News. I'm Reagan.
And I'm Courtney.